Well, howdy guys, thanks for making your way back on over here. We're on another driving adventure. Actually, I'm just about to make my way into the downtown core. I had some requests for some of that, so I figured, why the heck not? Let's make another video already. So for those of you who watched the stream on Sunday for City Skylines, it's basically like the downtown highway system that I was trying to work on. But I really wasn't quite getting the scale just right, so I'm still kind of not 100% sure what I'm going to do with that, but it was kind of fun to give it a try. But I still think the long-term plan is just to kind of maybe, just do a lot of the highway infrastructure and stuff off camera, just so I don't have to keep wasting too much time with that. But we'll drive it nonetheless right now, so you guys can kind of visualize and see what I was trying to work on. And it's a nice day out. The storm is past. There's our wind turbine, which is down at the exhibition grounds. That's really cool. We only have the one in Toronto, but it's still kind of cool that we're doing like the green initiative in air quotes. And so that's Lake Ontario just on the right, which you sort of kind of can see sometimes. We'll get a better view of it when we go around this corner here. But right now I'm just driving on Lakeshore Boulevard. And we're going to be getting on to the Gardiner. But yeah, very, very nice road to drive on. Very scenic. And in the summertime and stuff, a lot of people are like biking and stuff. Because on the right, there's like, bike trails and everything. Alright, so we're getting on the highway. And these are tight on-ramps, so you gotta be sharp. But then people who drive here kind of know about it, so they know to keep maybe that lane open per se. Just like right now, we're gonna move over and let that guy in. It's all about teamwork. But in general, especially on this highway, it's like, it's a little, sometimes it gets a little nerve-wracking. And this also has been under construction for a while. They've been trying to like repave it. And it's just kind of at that age too, where it's just pretty much fallen apart, so lots of infrastructure rebuilding. But look at the view. I mean, that's so nice, right? Oh god, bumpy. So there was actually some debate earlier in the year whether to rebuild and maintain it or to tear down our elevated highway, just because it's very expensive. And then the argument is, it's like we can't afford new transit lines because we're spending so much money to maintain this, but we can't destroy this because we have no transit lines. So it's like a weird catch-22. Oh man, I honestly love the view of this. And there's a new condo that's being built just here in the corner, kind of like dead straight ahead. And that's going to be like such a nice little addition, I think, to the skyline. It's going to be kind of like a cool corner shape, so. But even just in the last few years, the amount of condos have just popped up downtown, and it's just mind-blowing. Yeah, so it's kind of like, I guess this stretch of the highway is kind of where we started in the stream, and it was the interchange to the Don Valley Parkway, like that kind of link. That's where we were running into all those problems. Mostly related to scale. And this building here, being built in the corner, another one of those ones that just architecturally fits the spot really well. So it's like a triangle-shaped building. So I think it'll be nice. And then a few of my friends have condos that live in and around here, and it's really actually not all that noisy having the highway go by. And you get a pretty cool view of the city and the sense of traffic and stuff when you're up there. I know I'm just kind of not passing and being in the passing lane, but it's kind of weird when we drive in the city here. Like traditional, conventional, I should probably move now. Conventional highway rules don't necessarily apply so much. Like, it's so strange in Toronto. So some of you might think my driving habits are like not the best, which, I mean, it's fair. Maybe I do kind of, I'm a little bit lax with some rules, but it's more like it's the flow of the city, and it's kind of like a Wild West sometimes over here. Yeah, so this part right here, this is really where I was getting all the trouble from. Getting the arms to kind of break away. And if you guys did watch the stream and recall what I was saying, this part right here is like one of my favorite transitions. And you'll kind of know why. It's a really just nice drive. Let me see if I can clean my windshield a bit better here. Oh, and then guys, just, you know, for those of you who are curious, I'm actually recording this with my cell phone and just kind of like a little camera mount. So I do realize that, you know, sometimes the focusing and stuff is a little bizarro, but I don't necessarily have the right mount for like my bigger camera. So I just don't know if I'll be able to use that. So we'll kind of have to maybe, like I have another little handheld one, but I don't know if it's going to be the right quality for what we're going for here. But just based on some of the feedback, just kind of letting you guys know. Well, that seemed pointless trying to clean my monitor. Trying to clean my windshield. See, I don't like when people go really slow through here. Yeah, both lanes. Because I think, like, people, it's deceiving. Because the turn, it's engineered, like, really, really well. So you can actually take it at, like, just full regular speed. But I think people are, like, a little bit afraid to, or something. And then this is the part right here that constantly floods. I was talking about that in the stream as well. So just to our left is the Don River. And a lot of the water, because Toronto kind of flows downhill, a lot of the water makes its way through here. So if we get a lot of rain, or like 2 or 3 days worth of rain in a row, maybe the end of the third day, they'll have to close this stretch of the highway just because it'll be literally underwater, which is just so weird. And you guys, you can do a Google search. Just do Don Valley Parkway underwater, or Don Valley Parkway flooded, and then just maybe Toronto. I don't even think you need to do the word Toronto. And then this stretch of highway, the Don Valley Parkway, just in general, is like one of my favorite highways to drive on, because it's just so pleasant and pretty, and just you feel like you're in a forest. Like, obviously it's winter, all the trees don't have leaves, but it's like, imagine this like in the fall or in the summer when there's like just so much. Yeah, even in the spring is nice when things are just kind of making an appearance. I'm actually tempted to get off at the Bayview Bloor. Yeah, we'll do the Bayview extension. That's a nice little scenic route. This is Bloor Street right here, and right below it is the subway line, so that's really cool. Unfortunately, we didn't get lucky and didn't get to see one go by, but kind of neat when that happens. And if you happen to be on the subway, like, it's just a cool view when you pop out of the tunnel and just get this as your landscape for a few seconds. All right, so we have to get over. Let's go behind the truck. No heroics. And this is another one of those turns that is like, it's like really, really, really well engineered. You got to take it slowly, but it's like, oh, it's such a fun one to do. You feel like you're driving in a rally. We'll have to critique these people, see if they take it well. So far, the guy in front of us keeps cutting the white, so. No. Take it to the outside, sir. Find the apex. There we go. And I feel like a lot of our transitions, they're just really quick. So like I have to get over to the right lane, but you can see how, you know, I'm not really moving fast, but like, see how this can kind of get a little hairy sometimes. So it's reasons like this that I understand why my friends and stuff don't necessarily want to drive in Toronto, or maybe why some of you would be like, no way am I doing this. Which is totally fair. I'm just kind of used to it. So it's like, for me, it's like, you know, just regular Sunday drive. Even though today's not a Sunday, but you know what I mean. I also really like this turn. Like, whoever designed all this, just, they got their protractor out and just did it the right way or something. Because you can tell a turn is really well done when you don't really have to slow down too much through it, and you can just really just accelerate at the right moment. everything just feels so smooth. And this part of Bayview also just recently repaved, and it's like so nice. And so here on the left is the Evergreen Brickworks, which is really cool. It's it used to be actually a brickworks place, and now it's converted into office space, and they do like food truck festivals and like that kind of stuff there. So it's cool. And then they'll have like hipstery kind of style, like outdoor bands and stuff there, and there's like a walking path behind it. And then this part right here where Pottery Road is, this is also a major flood zone. And you guys can do a Google search as well, because there's a train line just to our right, and one time it flooded while there was a train going through the crossing, and then the train got grounded. And the passengers were like up to their waist with water. Like, it was pretty wild. And honestly, it is such a nice day out today. And for those of you wondering what car I drive, I did write it in the comments. I totally forgot to say last time, but I'm in a 2008 Ford Taurus SEL. And it's quite the nice car. My dad's old car, actually. Much more powerful than my previous one, so it's a nice, pleasant change. The only downside, of course, is that it's like not really the best on gas. It's a 3.5 liter V6. So if I want to if I want to go fast, it'll go fast. But the downside, of course, is that I can pass everything except for a gas station. Now the strange thing too about Bayview, and especially just in Toronto, is they really try to restrict our speed limits. Because in Toronto, like I was saying before, we have the whole like Wild West approach where people just kind of do their own thing, and so everyone just kind of speeds, which is like, it's dangerous in the sense that it's dangerous because you're going faster than the recommended limit, but it's like at the same time you're moving at the speed of traffic around you, so it's kind of like when people do go the speed limit to a T, they sometimes get honked at, so it's a strange dynamic. But yeah, so Toronto just a little bit more aggressive, just a little bit fast in that sense. Anyway, so yeah, most of the speed limits have been reduced lately in an effort to try and get people to go, the intended speed limit. And I don't mean to laugh this kind of stuff off. Like, it's a weird issue. It just mostly comes down to enforcement, because there's just so many people breaking the rule. It's like, how do you pull over one person when there's like 6 or 7 doing the exact same thing? So it's kind of a weird. And so as a result, in Toronto every single year, we just happen to be having more and more fender benders, like more pedestrians are getting hit. So we're at this weird tipping point. I mean, yeah, so the drastic stuff are now coming in, where, they're reducing most of the speed limits. There's new speed traps coming in. I've got like a lot of red light cameras, like that kind of stuff. More of a police presence. But yeah, enforcement is tough. So we're heading back kind of to North York or so. Kind of where, not really the same area, but more or less kind of where the other video started, but maybe like 10 minutes east, I guess. And this is just a nice little stretch of Bayview right here. Some nice shops and everything. Because Toronto, it's just full of these little self-contained villages within the city, where everything you need is just like 2 or 3 blocks walking kind of distance, which is super convenient. So you get like grocery store on the left, you get your like, I'm trying to think here, like your Subway on the right, like, I don't know. But no, for real, you get like your beer store, LCBO on the left, so you get your alcohol and stuff. Like just banks and everything, some nice restaurants, just some kind of swank shops, specialty things, And they're just, 2 or 3 blocks long, but there's just tons of these little commercial things just kind of set up in the city. And Toronto is also, it's undergoing this like weird, like I was saying with the Gardiner and stuff, a lot of our infrastructure is pretty old. And so they're kind of at the point where it's like do you now replace it how it was, or do you take a gamble and either change it, rebuild it, So a lot of that's happening. So with Eglinton Avenue, which is the street we're going to be coming up on, oh, someone didn't pay for parking. They're upgrading the transit on that street, and they're doing, actually it's really cool, most of it's going to be underground, but they're going from buses to trams, and yeah, it's going to be mostly submerged, so they'll be able to go a lot faster. But I mean, that'll just be like a huge improvement. But right now it's like quite the mess, unfortunately. But we'll drive by that and you guys can kind of see. And then I'm gonna have to stop and get some gas. And then someone was asking what the price of gas was in Toronto, and I think it's like $1.05 to $1.10 per liter, somewhere around there. And that would be, I don't even know my math, but that'd be like around $3 to $4 a gallon maybe. So it's kind of on the pricier end, but like, I don't know, it's relative, right? Like for us, this feels like it's a little pricey. I think it should be maybe 10 or 20 cents less. But then in other countries, you guys might be like, holy smokes, that's so cheap. But then in like the southern states, you guys must be like, wow, that's expensive. So you can see like all of this right here is just under crazy construction. Yeah, so this is Eglinton here. I'm gonna try to go to that Shell that's across the street. And then a lot of these areas, they're just, like, especially on the right, like that little strip mall and stuff like that, it's just prime for condo development. A lot of those stores, you can see they're already starting to close, and just new stuff hasn't popped in yet. So it's fascinating to see where this is going to go. I like this baby car wash. It's kind of old school. Heroic, should I go? No, I'll let this guy go. Can't be a bad driver on camera. Can be a marginally good one, hopefully, maybe. All right, guys. Well, I think I'm gonna end things off here. Thanks for hanging out with me again. I'll definitely be doing some more of these, so yeah, stay tuned. And I'll be taking you guys on some very different routes. So we'll be going, yeah, like, downtown, like right into the core. We had some requests for to go right by the CN Tower and like the Skydome / Rogers Center. So I'm totally up for all of that. Yeah, if you guys have any suggestions, totally feel free. Otherwise, yeah, thanks for hanging out, and I will see you guys again. Drop me a comment, let me know what you think, and I hope you're having a good day. Take care of yourselves. All the best.